All right, so today we're diving into something a little different. Forget what you know about superhero origins. We're talking about a story born from cosmic horror, existential philosophy, and one seriously high-stakes bet. This is the origin of Wotan, the Overman.
Just look at this. This image really sets the stage, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the sheer scale of what we're talking about. We're not dealing with a guy in a cape here. This is about a force of nature, something immense waking up. And the terrifying part? It shatters our entire world just by being. So how do we get to that? Well, to really get Wotan, you've got to zoom way, way out. We're not starting in a lab or on a doomed planet. We're starting in this abstract, existential void. And the inciting incident? It's not a radioactive spider bite, it's a cosmic wager for one man's soul.
And check out the players in this little game. On one side, you have the all-will. Think of it as the raw, unfiltered drive for power, the absolute affirmation of life, no matter what. And on the other side, we've got Mythophoseles. He's the total opposite. He's negation, he's resentment, he's all about those systems built on fear. You know, the ones that offer those comforting little lies.
So who's the poor soul they're betting on? You might think it's some great king or a mighty warrior, right? Nope. It's a single, suffering mortal. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, a guy literally being torn apart by sickness and despair. And the bet is simple. Mephistopheles says, give him power, and eventually he'll come crawling back, begging for the sweet oblivion of comfort. But the all-will? It bets he'll choose something else entirely, a terrible freedom.
Okay, so where does humanity fit into all this? Well, we don't exactly come in as the innocent victims needing to be saved. Oh no, we show up as arrogant creators with one massive fatal flaw. And what's that flaw? Hubris. Just an incredible amount of it. Humans create something called Project Zarathustra, and their goal is just, wow. They want to take Nietzsche's entire philosophy, all these complex, dangerous ideas, and turn it into a weapon. They're trying to engineer a super being, yeah, but one they can keep on a leash. A slave.
And here's how they plan to do it. They build what they call a gamma-fueled cage. Think about the irony there. They see all this incredible energy not as something creative, but as a prison, a tool to contain and control the very power they're trying to create in the first place. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, it turns out that human plans are pretty much meaningless when you're dealing with cosmic truths. That cage, that thing they built to imprison a will, yeah, it becomes the exact opposite. It becomes the catalyst for something terrifying.
See, instead of being contained, Nietzsche's own inherent will to power, the very thing the all-will was betting on, it just hijacks the whole system. It looks at all that gamma energy and doesn't see prison bars. It sees a conduit, a pipeline to pour itself directly into the real world.
And then, with a thunderous crack, one word changes everything. It's the end of one life and the beginning of something entirely new. And here's the result. It's a complete, total transformation. The frail, sick scholar is just gone. And what's left standing in his place? Wotan. A living, breathing philosophical thesis. An idea that's just been given the power of a god. Okay, and this right here, this is where the story just takes the classic superhero origin and smashes it into a million pieces. Because Wotan's first act isn't to save a cat from a tree or stop a bank robbery. No, his first act is one of absolute, total rejection. Right out of the gate, he shows everyone he's his own being. He shatters the cage, completely abandons the humans who tried to create him, and makes it crystal clear that he has zero interest in being their hero or savior.
You have to understand, he's operating on a moral framework that is just alien to us. It's post-human. There's no compassion, none of the limits we put on ourselves. He sees something like pity not as a good thing, but as this gravitational force that just pulls everyone down, stops them from ever growing.
So let's be super clear on this. The crucial point is, he is not here to save us. From where he's standing, saving people just keeps them weak. It anchors them to their failures. His whole purpose is to be a challenge, to force humanity to get up and surpass itself, to overcome its own stagnation.
So he walks into our world, into the marketplace of civilization, not as a guardian angel, but as a thunderous verdict. He is, in essence, the meaning of the earth made real, a walking, talking demand to find your value right here, right now, not to wait for some reward in an afterlife. But hang on. Remember that cosmic bet from the beginning? Wotan's birth doesn't end it. Not even close. In fact, his creation is just the start of the real experiment. And now every single thing he does is evidence in that cosmic trial. His whole life, from this point on, becomes the ongoing proof. He's a living, breathing argument. He is the physical embodiment of the debate between that terrifying, authentic freedom and the oh-so-seductive call of just being comfortable and safe.
And you know who's starting to sweat? Mephistopheles. That cool confidence he had at the start, it's turning into genuine unease because he's realizing, uh-oh, I'm not dealing with a guy I can tempt with money or power. He's dealing with a monster of absolute freedom, a force of nature you just can't manipulate.
And that brings us right back to where we started, back to that walking mountain. A being that changes the entire landscape of the world, not because it hates the little villages at its feet, not out of malice, but just by existing, just by walking.
So that leaves us with the big question, right? The one at the heart of the whole wager. Can any soul, even one with the power of a god, actually sustain that level of terrifying, isolated, absolute freedom? Or, when it all gets to be too much, will it break and beg to go back to the simple, easy comfort of just being human?